They had been fighting for this moment for years. Helen Steele, Belinda Harvey, and further along 4 others who didn't want to appear on camera. Women who, in the words of Scotland Yard today, had had their integrity and dignity grossly violated.
The discovery that someone I thought I knew so well didn't actually exist has had a lasting impact on my life.
One after another they spoke of deception at the hands of men they once loved, but who, it transpired, had actually been undercover for the police. One of whom was identified previously in Parliament as Mark Jenner.
Mark and I attended relationship counselling for over a year because I wanted a baby and he didn't. I later discovered he was married with children throughout this time.
An hour earlier, the Met issued this statement.
Thanks in large part to the courage and tenacity of these women in bringing these matters to light, it has become apparent that some officers, acting undercover while seeking to infiltrate protest groups, entered into long-term intimate sexual relationships with women, which were abusive, deceitful, manipulative and wrong. I acknowledge that these relationships were a violation of the women's human rights, an abuse of police power and caused significant trauma. I unreservedly apologise on behalf of the Metropolitan Police Service.
It's not been disclosed how much Scotland Yard has paid these 7 women, but last year another claimant, Jackie, received £425,000 in an out-of-court settlement.
This is the card that Bob gave me after I gave birth. As you can see there, well done Jack, love Bob.
Her relationship had been with a man she once knew as Greenpeace activist Bob Robinson, a man with whom she had a child, but who then disappeared, only to be exposed years later as Bob Lambert, former member of Scotland Yard's secretive, now disbanded, Special Demonstration Squad, an undercover cop who had a wife and children, unbeknownst to Jackie and Belinda Harvey, another woman with whom he had a relationship whilst undercover. In his only television interview to date on the subject, Bob Lambert had this to say.
I became emotionally and romantically involved with both of them. I had no intention to target either of them. They were both, fine, upstanding citizens who really should not have. They had the misfortune to meet me.
Whether or not genuine feelings were involved on the part of any officers is entirely irrelevant, said the Met today. The conduct was totally unacceptable.
I'm really appreciative of the apology that the police have given and that it's unreservedly given. Today is not the end. There are still women out there who don't know what happened to them. And I do believe it's important that that all comes out.
And what about those who had overall responsibility for the likes of Bob Lambert and co? Who precisely was monitoring what these undercover officers were doing? Who was defining the parameters within which they operated? These are recurring questions in this whole affair. The Met today admitted the more they learn, the more they accept that appropriate oversight was lacking. The extent of that failure, now a key element of the public inquiry into undercover policing, due to report in 2018.